So this video is a question that I get about once a decade, and it's a good question. So here's a 12-103. That means that it's 2 3/4 back set. If it was a 12-100, it would be a 2 3/8 back set. 605, it's available in different finishes. This latch bolt was used on the Schlage E series, which was made from the 1950s until about the mid-1990s, maybe about the first half of the 90s is what my memory tells me when it was discontinued. So it had a pretty good run. The B250 series, that lock has been made. It's still, the year's 2022, it's still available now. That's a slam, it's a deadbolt, except that it has a slam latch, which is really nice. People use those on gates, wrought iron gates. You have a double cylinder slam latch. You can pull that gate closed and you know it's locked. That lock, I'm pretty sure I've seen it in a 1970s catalog. I'm sure it goes back as far as the 1960s, but I'm guessing. But I for sure know it was made in the 80s, and it's made all the way up till today. So how long of a run the B250 has gone through so far, I don't know. It's a half a century for sure. So I get this kind of question about once every 10 years. The latch bolt, as you're seeing it now, this would work splendidly for a, if I'm on the, you're on the outside, a right hand, or it would really work really great if you're on the outside and it's a left-hand reverse. That would work great. Our client has reached out to us and said, hey, something's wrong. The handing of this, I need the other hand. The way that these work, believe it or not, hold your hand on the barrel and rotate it. And you turn it, you literally just turn it over. I initially started going clockwise and it stopped, realizing that's the wrong direction. I turned it counterclockwise. Okay, 180 degrees. Now I can flip that over. Now what do we have? Something that would be appropriate for a left hand if you're on the outside, or something that would be appropriate for a right hand reverse if you're on the outside. The answer to the question is 2 fingers on the faceplate and you rotate that body carefully, and it will rotate 180. It'll go more than a 180, but you'll find 180. And you'll know that it'll work because you can pull that latch back really in either direction, and that's how you reverse this. So that's the relative short version of the answer. I'm going to switch to the screen view now and show you some photographs that the client provided to us. If you're not interested in seeing them, there you go. Thank you very much for watching. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So here is a look at the client's original inquiry that they may have sent to us 6 months ago, and the client's just getting to it now, and that's good. I have a shop full of projects that are years old that I'm yet to start. Here's what the latch bolt is. So they clearly have a right hand. Well, it appears to be a right hand. A very exotic cutting-edge means to hold the door open. Tremendous ingenuity. There you go. I can help you with that, by the way. Look for a Sauce MDH magnetic door holder. Very inexpensive, possibly more elegant than the wire and drywall screw routine. But anyway, however it works, you don't want to have to make 2 trips to the car if you're a man when it comes to grocery bags. So here is the image that the client just provided to us. Obviously, here's the original, and here's what we sent. You can see that they're in reverse order. One is this hand, the right hand that the client has, and this would be best really shown if it was going to be for a left hand, if we turn this over in our mind's eye. So that's what the client is faced with, and now you know the answer on how to do this. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So this client has that old discontinued E-Series lock. And I don't know how old his lock is. It could be from the 80s. It could be from the 90s. The fact that it's brass, and I believe it to be in Plymouth design. Yeah, look, the escutcheon is possibly Plymouth. It is Plymouth. 80s, absolutely the 1980s. 70s, very common. That old E-lock, there was the E-lock and the EB lock. They're the same lock. The E-lock is the grip handle with the thumb piece and the bolt. If you add a deadbolt to it, which is their B series, it becomes an EB series. Now there's a traditional deadbolt up above. Forget the deadbolt. The E series takes this slam latch. The lock that you have on your front door, mid-20th century, and I've done this. People have called. My house was built in 1956. The latch bolt just stopped working. Great, because it turns out the design hasn't changed in about 65 years. No problem. And I've done that a number of times with old E-series locks. You want to, and there's no parts left over for E-series locks except the latch bolt. You're going to want to keep that lock working as best as you can, because there is no replacement, not only not from Schlage, but from anyone in the industry when it comes to replacing that lock in terms of the preparations in the door. Don't quote me, but it was 3 holes drilled through the door that might be 1 3/8 inch diameter or 1 5/8 inch, some unusual size. No other lock takes those preps. If you're going to upgrade a grip handle to something else modern today, you're going to need to sit down and think about what lock you'll use, what templating the new lock will require, and how you might need to Dutchman or otherwise modify the existing door. This is also used in the B250 series. Now that's still made today, thankfully. That is a deadbolt, except it has a slam latch. Now we were able to use this slam latch on the B400 and the B100. Those locks were discontinued in maybe the 80s and 90s, respectively. Or 400 in the 80s maybe, or early 90s, and the 100 certainly in the 90s. What I liked about those locks, especially the 400 and the 250, is that they will fit into an 1.5 inch diameter hole. What I like about the 250 is you can do 1.5 inch or 2 1/8 inch holes, and then because of the tail pieces and the collars that will go under the cylinder, you can literally handle a very healthy range of door thickness, 1 3/8 inch, and you can probably get it out to pushing 3 inch. So it's a really neat, lovely deadbolt that will allow you to secure your door by just pushing the door closed. Just pushing it closed, because it's a slam latch. And you can have a single cylinder, you can have a double cylinder. You know, back in the old days, we would concoct a way to turn it into a thumb turn only. I'd have to think again how we did that. Surface mounting a thumb turn, getting that tail piece, that's what we probably did. A very unusual hole in the face of the door, the standard bore in the edge. We surface mounted that thumb turn most definitely, and we would have epoxied the tail piece into the back of the thumb turn is one way to have done it, or maybe mechanically fastened it in there. Unfortunately, the 500 series, the 60 series, the 600, 700, 800, which are all the same, they're different platforms, so cannibalizing them together, something for fun for hardware people to do, is no longer just low-hanging fruit to be able to do. And that's a lot of our clients. They are people who solve problems, and they do so in very ingenious ways by taking hardware that wasn't meant to do something, and they've made it do something else, and it works perfectly. Anyway, if you have any questions on the history of this latch bolt or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.